Hello student, I am Mrs. Alka Sharma from NCMS Jhabua. Today I am taking class 10 SST History Chapter 1, The Rise of Nationalism in Europe. Students, earlier I explained you how the spirit of nationalism emerged, how the Napoleon had introduced the code, what are the Treaty of Vienna. Today I explain you the age of revolution during 1830 to 1848, how the emergence of national feelings appeared, hunger, hardship, and how this make the popular revolt. In 1848, the revolution of the liberals. What happened in the May Revolution? What are the issues of the political right to women? The making of Germany and Italy. How the unification of Germany will be done? Unification of Italy. The growth of Great Britain, visualizing the nation, and the nationalisms and imperialisms. Now, the age of revolution during 1830 to 1848. You just see the liberalism and nationalisms, they came to be increasingly, because earlier when the Napoleon will be defeated, so conservative groups again they bring the monarchy systems. So during that time, after that the peoples are not sitting quietly, the groups of liberalisms and nationalisms that came to be increasingly, they associate with the religion, with the revolution in many regions of Europe, such as the Italian and the German states. During that time, the province of Ottoman empires, Ireland and Poland, the first upheaval took place in France in July, that is 1830. What happened that day? The July Revolution sparked an uprising in Brussels, means now again the spirit will be developed, which led to a Belgium breaking away. So it break away from the United Kingdom of the Netherlands. So the struggle of independence in Greece started in 1821, and the Treaty of Constantinople of 1830, it recognizes Greece as an independent nation. Next, how the emergence of national feelings develop? See that. Now, my dear student, the development of nationalism does not come about only that through wars and territorial access. Some other way also we can develop the national feelings, like culture played an important role in creating the idea of nation. Art and poetry, stories and musics, they also help to express the shape of the nationalist feelings among the peoples. During that time, romantic artists and some of the poets, they criticize the glorification of reason, of science focusing on emotions, institution and mystical feelings. They try to create a sense of nationalism they shared by collective heritage on the basis of nation. So in this way they want to develop the feelings among the peoples. Romantic German philosopher, his name was John Gottfried Herder, claimed that the true German culture was to discovered among the common people. Das Volk, Poland, which was no longer existent as an independent territory, so it kept nationalized feeling alive through music and language. So in this way they developed. See, another reason of the revolt, hunger, hardship. These are also a popular revolt. See, what happened in 1830s? These were the years of great economic hardship in Europe. Why? Because the first half of the 19th century, it was saw an enormous increase in population. So population was increased all over the Europe, and the population from the rural area, they started migrated to the cities to live in overcrowded slum areas. So the misery, and during that time the misery of the workers in town was extreme. In 1845, the weavers of Silsia village had done the revolt. Why they done this revolt? Against the contractors. These contractors, they supplied them some raw material and gave them order for finish the textiles. But drastically what they done? They reduced their payments. That is why these group of the peoples will be angered. So on 4th June at 2 p.m, a large crowd of weavers marched in pairs up to the mention for their contractor demanding that higher wages. And now, but what happened? They were treated with scorn and alternately contractor with the help of army. So in this way they will not succeed. They will not succeed. So what happened in 1848? There is a food shortage and widespread unemployment brought the population of Paris on the roads. So barricades were erected and the Louis Philippe was forced to leave. So a new National Assembly proclaimed a republic and they granted suffrage to the adult males above the 21 age and they guaranteed right to work. What happened later? See, but 1848 the revolution of the liberals also done the revolution. How? In other parts of the Europe like Germany, Italy, Poland, the Austro-Hungarian Empire, men and women of the liberal middle class, they combined their demands and for creation of nation states. So what they done? This demand was based. What type of demand? They based on constitution, there will be freedom of press and freedom of association. Now, on May 1 revolution will happen and that is called May Revolution. What happened during that time? On 18th May 1848, near about 831 elected representatives, they marched in festive procession to take their place in Frankfurt Parliament Convent in the Church of St. Paul. They drafted a constitution for a German nation and this will be headed by a monarchy subject to a parliament. When the deputies offered the crown on these terms, what they made on constitution to Frederick William IV, the king of Prussia, he rejected, he had not accepted and he joined another monarch to oppose this elected assembly. So the parliament was not during that time, the parliament it is dominated by the group of middle classes who resisted the demands of the workers and artisans and consequently they lost their supports because they had not done anything for them. So in the end the troops were called in and assembly was forced to disband. So in this way it will be finished. Issue of political rights of women. Why this will be appear? Because the issue of exchange of political rights to women was a controversial one within the liberal movement in which large numbers of women had participated actively over the years. Women had formed their own political association, they founded their newspaper and had taken part in political movement. So in 1848, the conservative groups forces were able to suppress these liberal movements but could not restore the old order. Serfdom and bonded labor was abolished and both in the Habsburg dominant and in Russia. Now, how the making of Germany and Italy. See, how the unification of Germany, how the unification of Italy. See, after 1848, our nationalist sentiments were promoted by conservatives for capturing the state powers and political domination over Europe. So what happened? In Germany, the nationalist feelings were widespread among middle class peoples who in 1848 tried to unite. So they tried to unite different regions of the German Confederation into nation state and what they want? This should be governed by an elected parliament. So Prussia took on the leadership of the movement for the national unification. Prussia's chief minister Otto von Bismarck was the architect of this process. So with the help of Prussian army and bureaucracy, the major events that occurred at that time for the unification of Germany. What happened? See, Germany there will be war with Austria, Denmark and France. And do you know it is running over 7 years with Prussian victory and they completed the process of unification. So on 18 January 1871, an assembly, they comprising the Prince of the German state, representative of the army, and important Prussian ministers including the chief minister of Otto von Bismarck. He proclaimed the new German Empire, and these are headed by Kaiser William I of Prussia. See, the new state placed a strong emphasis on modernizing this currency, banking, legal and judicial system in Germany. So in this way they set up the new establishment in the Germany. Now you see here, unification of Italy. How they unite the Italy? You see, first, during the middle of the 19th century, it was divided into 7 states. So it was very difficult to combine all of them. So out of which only one state, that is Sardinia Piedmont, was ruled on Italian princely house. So contribution, you see, what are the contribution of some famous personality they involved in the unification of Italy were? First, you see, Giuseppe Mazzini. Do you know? During the 1830, Giuseppe Mazzini had sought to put together a program for unitary public. He reformed 2 underground societies. First one is called Young Republic, and he formed 2 Young Europe in Bernini and Metternich described him the most dangerous enemy of the social order. And he made so much big group that they revolt against this. Second one is Count Camillo di Cavour. The unification of Italy owed much on the diplomacy of the chief minister Cavour, who became the prime minister of the Piedmont from 1850 to 1860. Now he done some tactful diplomatic alliance with France, engineered by Cavour. Sardinia Piedmont succeeded in defeating this Austrian force in 1859. Next one is Giuseppe Garibaldi. Do you know? He was a central figure in the unification of Italy. So in 1833, he met Mazzini and joined the Young Italy movement. He participated in Republican uprising in Piedmont in 1834, and in 1830 he supported Victor Emmanuel II for his effort to unifying the Italian states. So in 1860 he led the famous expedition of the 1000 of South Italy with his red shirt army, and in 1867 he led army to Rome to fight for Papal States where French garrison was stationed. So in 1870, see, France withdrew its troops and Papal States were finally joined to Italy. So in this way these famous personalities has done for make this unification of this Italy. You know, you just see. What are the major events led to the unification? First, you see, proclamation of United Italy in 1860. The army, the regular troops and armed volunteers, they marched into the South Italy and the kingdom of Two Sicilies, and they succeeded in winning the support of the local patients in order to drive the Spanish rulers. So in 1861, what happened? Victor Emmanuel II was proclaimed king of the United Italy. The states of Tuscany, Modena, Parma and the Papal, they joined hands with Sardinia. So by March 1860, the entire central Italian states were unanimously united Piedmont. Rome became a part of Sardinia, and in this way the final unification of Italy was done, and it was achieved in 1871. Now, how the growth of the Britain? See, there was no British nation prior to the 18th century. So the primary identities of the peoples who inhabited the British Isles were ethnic ones like English, Welsh, Scot and or Irish. These type of the groups of the peoples there. So the growth of the Great Britain as a nation state can be understood. How? By some points you can see. First one, as the English nation steadily grew in wealth and importance and power, and it was able to extend its influence over the other nation of islands. Second one, the English Parliament, which was seized the power from the monarchy in which year? 1688. So at the end of this conflict was the instrument through which a big instrument like nation state with England at its center to become force. Incorporation of Scotland and United Kingdom. One act of union in 1770 between England and Scotland resulted in the formation of United Kingdom of Great Britain. It means that the England was able to impose its influence on Scotland. So the British Parliament was dominated by English members. Incorporation of Ireland. Now Ireland was treated similar way as Scotland, and it was a country. It was divided into two groups, Catholic and Protestant. So the English supported the Protestant of Ireland to establish their dominance over these countries. So the revolt raised by Catholic was suppressed. After a failed revolt, it is led by Wolfe Tone and his United Irishmen 1798. Ireland was forcibly incorporated into the United Kingdom of Britain in 1801. So a new British nation was forced through the propagation of dominant English culture. So the symbol of New Britain were the British flag that you earlier seen. I had shown one figure on that flag, Union Jack, the national anthem, God Save Our Noble King, and the English flag that will be developed. How we can visualizing this new nation? Artists in the 18th and 19th century, they found a way out by personifying nation. Nation were then they are portrayed as a female figure, female form that was chosen. Why they had chosen this female figure? To personify the nation, and they did not stand to any particular women in real life. So the female figure became an allegory of the nation. In the France, the female allegory was Christian Marini, and Germania became the allegory of the German state. Nationalism and imperialism. By the last quarter of 19th century, when you see, the nationalism no longer retained its idealistic, liberal, democratic sentiments. During this period, nationalist groups become increasingly intolerant with each other, and they were ready to start a war. So what happened? Balkans, a source of national tension in Europe. Why? See, the Balkan was a region of a geographical and ethnic variation, and these are comprising of now modern day Romania, Albania, Greece, Macedonia, Croatia, Bosnia, Herzegovina, Slovenia, Serbia, and Montenegro, whose inhabitants were broadly known as the slaves. A large part of Balkans during that time, it was under the control of Ottoman Empire. So the Balkans area became area of intense conflicts. There was always conflict between these groups. So each power, Russia, Germany, England, Austro-Hungary, was keen. They want to hold the power of this over the Balkans, and they want to control over this area, and this led to a series of wars in the region, and finally due to this reason the First World War will appear. So you have seen in this chapter that how the nationalism in the Europe will be developed, how the people fight, what are the contributions of famous personality, and how the liberalization and nationalist movement had made this country unite. Thank you.